See? CNN is forced to admit that inflation numbers have come down this fast, nowhere near what they anticipated, nowhere near what they thought, just like all of us. Again, me as an independent voter, first time voted for Trump, because I don't know about y'all, but this type of economic stuff, we learned this shit in grade school, like first grade. And the fact that people are getting paid 6+ digits a year and have been lying to y'all for a long time, about the economy getting better and this and that and this and that, it's really not. Now, here we go.
Have some good news on the economy. Really the number one issue for many Americans, the cost of living. So we just learned that consumer prices in February increased by 2.8% year over year, 0.2% month over month. Both of these figures were a step in the right direction, and both were better than expected. So this is definitely very encouraging to see, because it's going to, I think, relieve some fears that inflation was perhaps re-accelerating, because this actually breaks a streak of 4 straight months where I think you could see it on the chart all the way to the...
Okay, so look at this chart, okay? Here, I'll kind of zoom it in a little bit more here. Look at this chart, right? Okay, so August of 2023, see how it's kind of like, up and down like a mountain, right? And then it starts going down like a little bit later into 2024, right? And then it starts going up again in 2020 into 2025. Now look at it going back down through February of 2025. And I want everyone to pay attention to, I'm trying to think how to word this. I want everyone to pay attention to this right here, okay? Through a long period of time, this is going to be astronomically good for everybody in America. And not just everyone in America, everyone around the globe, okay? I get it. A lot of federal workers have lost their jobs. I get it. But something that the Biden administration did, and Democrats have been doing this for decades, they create useless jobs that don't mean anything. And then they allow illegal immigrants to come in here and undercut American wage jobs because they can work for less money, hourly or salary, however that may work. And that puts American people out of work. Okay? It's that simple. It's that simple. And also, I'm sure most people know this, like during COVID, for instance, okay? All those jobs that came back after this whole stupid pandemic happened and everything like that. I mean, I'm unvaccinated. I didn't fall for the sheep vaccines. I didn't fall for sheep vid or nothing. But anyway, so they took credit for like hundreds and thousands of jobs, or even maybe millions of jobs coming back because of COVID. You can't take credit for that. That makes no sense. So not only did he cause inflation financially, he caused inflation in y'all's minds to make you believe that they were actually doing something good and right. And they weren't, and they never will.
Right, where the inflation rate was going in the wrong direction, right? It was going higher and higher. Finally, we're seeing it dip. Now it showed inflation.
Another, starting then with the manufacturing turnaround that President Trump has overseen. The jobs report showed that manufacturing employment rose by 10,000 jobs in President Trump's first full month in office.
Look at that.
When you compare that to the Biden administration, Stephanie, manufacturing jobs declined by more than 100,000 over the final 12 months of the Biden administration. It averaged out to...
That's crazy. So think about this, okay? Let's just assume for a second that 10,000 jobs get created manufacturing jobs get created every single month, right? For the next 12 months. That's 120,000 new manufacturing jobs. The Biden administration in the last 12 months has decreased that by 100,000. So in 12 months, let's just assume, okay, let's flip the script. Biden administration created 100,000 manufacturing jobs. At this rate with Trump, he would still, after a year, he would still be creating 20,000 plus new manufacturing jobs. So if you want to really do the math, he's practically doubling it in a year from the Biden administration. It's wild. It's wild.
about losing 9,000 manufacturing jobs per month. The Trump administration has completely reversed, done a 180 when it came to manufacturing. Specifically, a lot of these jobs that were added this past month came in the private sector as well. So they're good paying private sector jobs. 93% of them came from the private sector. 93%. And in the final 2 years of the previous administration, a lot of the job gains were coming from the federal government.
That is wild. And look what's happening now with Doge. Because Elon Musk is finding that these federal jobs that have all been created are useless. They're pointless. These people go to work and they clock in for 40, 50 hours a week, and they maybe work 4 or 8 hours a week, maybe. And half the time, probably even more than half the time, they sit at home and do nothing. They do nothing. They're literally paid to hurry up and wait. It makes no sense. It doesn't do anything for us. It doesn't do anything for the people. It doesn't do anything for them. They're just sponges. That's all they are. They're just selfish sponges. And it needs to stop. You see, so here's another thing, okay? New research, immigrants, crucial to U.S. economy. 88% of U.S. labor force growth since 2009 due to immigrant workers. See, just like I said like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes ago. You can't have all these illegals come over here and work for less than Americans. It makes no sense. It's so diabolical. So these same people that are okay with illegal immigrants coming over here are advocating for not only people to come over here illegally, they're advocating for them to work for slave wages and not have health care benefits, not have 401ks. They might not even have visas. How does anybody think this is right? How does anybody think that this is morally correct to do? It's not. And then also too, the number of workers in the U.S. labor force would have declined since 2018 without immigrants and their children. See? It's crazy. Another thing I want to touch up on, okay? So if you read right past where it says policy analysis, right? Over the last 5 years, only 479,000 U.S.-born workers were added to the U.S. labor force, compared to 3.6 million foreign-born workers. That's crazy. That's crazy. You're talking like 6 times the amount of illegal immigrants coming over here compared to American workers. That's not right. That's not right to do. Here, listen to him, how he's not worried about the daily discrepancies and everything in the stock market and stock prices. Watch.
Is that what you meant? The stock market going down was the disruption? What other disruption were you alluding to?
Look, what I have to do is build a strong country. You can't really watch the stock market. If you look at China, they have a 100-year perspective. We have a quarter. We go by quarters.
That's true.
And you can't go by that. You have to do what's right. What we're doing is we're building a tremendous foundation for the future. Tremendous foundation. Everything's been taken away. We don't make ships anymore. We don't, you just saw one of the biggest shipbuilders in the world, one of the biggest shipping people in the whole world.
In the Oval Office with you.
In the Oval Office. He's announcing a $20 billion investment in the United States, which he would have never done except for this. But look at this. Honda, Toyota, they're all coming in. Yep. You take a look at what's happened. The chip maker, the greatest chipper, Mr. Wei, the biggest in the world by far, is going to spend $200 billion on making a massive plant to make chips.
So that's your message? Build it here?
Build it here. There's no tariff.
Here we go. Watch CNN. Watch it. Here we go. CNN. They're going to admit something here. Watch.
When we're talking about the cuts that Doge is bringing about, how are they feeling about
Yeah, this to me was one of the more shocking figures that I saw. Made me go, wait a minute, hold on 1 second. Whoa! Americans on Trump and Joe's efforts. Musk and Doge should influence government spending and operations. Look at this. 54%. The majority say that he and they should. How about approve of Trump trying to cut staff at government agencies? Again, you get a majority here. 51%. So yeah, Elon Musk might not be that popular, but these cuts and the idea of spending cuts, at least within the federal government and cutting at government agencies, that actually has majority support. I was truly surprised by this, Kate, but the numbers are the numbers.
And here, watch and listen to Elon Musk explain Like, I don't understand why so many people are not understanding this. It's so simple to understand. It literally is common. It's literally common sense. We've learned this economic type stuff in freaking 1st and 3rd and 4th and 5th and 7th and 9th and 12th grade. What is happening? Like, my generation, I'll be 34 on Sunday. It's wild to me that nobody understands this. And here, I'm going to play the clip so he just dumbs it down.
If we address the massive deficit spending, the sort of the waste in the government, then we can actually address inflation. So provided the economy grows faster than the money supply, which means you stop the government overspending and the waste, and the output of real useful goods and services exceeds the increase in the money supply, you have no inflation. Yeah. And you also drop the interest payments that people pay, because if the government keeps
too high.
Yes, the reason the interest payments are so high is because the national debt keeps increasing. So the government is competing to sell debt with the private citizens. This drives up the interest rate. So if you cut back on the deficit, you actually have an amazing situation for people, because you get rid of inflation and you drop the interest rates. And that means people's mortgage payments go down, their credit card payments go down, their car payments go down, their student loans go down, everything, their life becomes more affordable and their standard of living improves.
And here's this too. This is a steel manufacturing owner, CEO, explaining that this is what's going to happen. This is what he's going to do.
Now we have the right moment, the right time. Manufacturing is back. If you believe that a supply chain bringing parts of cars across the border with Mexico or Canada 7 times, and this is efficient, this is not.
Just a little while ago, I had an opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick. And Secretary Lutnick has sent out an olive branch to us to come down and immediately meet with him, meet with the whole trade administration.
This is the guy that recently just wanted to turn off electricity to America because Trump smacked a tariff on him. And now he's coming forth and not only taking that back, and he's not going to do it, now he's up for negotiating. See what this does? See, I think this is the other problem that a lot of Democrats just don't understand. Y'all are like globalists. In order for America to help other people out, we need to help each other and ourselves out first. I'm all about helping other countries out. I'm sure the vast majority of us Americans are. But in order for us to do that, we have to help ourselves out first. I'll use a quick analogy because, again, I don't understand why this is so difficult to understand. But so let's say there's somebody on the street, okay? And they're bleeding out. They're bleeding out. Neck just bleeding out. I have 2 broken legs and I don't have access to my wheelchair. How the hell am I going to help them out? Yeah, I might be able to crawl there. You know how long it's going to take me to? He might bleed out completely by that time. You understand now, if I was able to take care of myself, now how I broke those legs, I was just messing around on a trampoline and I acting stupid and I broke my legs doing that, okay? How would I, if I wasn't being stupid and I could have helped myself out by not being stupid, by not breaking my legs, I would have been able to help out that person from not bleeding out. But now instead, since I acted stupid and didn't help myself out, aka broke my legs because I was an idiot jumping on a trampoline, now somebody bled out in the street, and not only that, somebody's dad or brother or son passed away because I wasn't able to help. You guys understand this? Like, again, we're all about helping each other out. Everyone, we're all about it. But we can't help other people out unless we help ourselves out first. It might sound selfish. Trust me, I get it. It sounds selfish. But at the same time, there comes a point in time where you have to be selfish at some point. You have to. If you truly want to help other people out, there comes a point where you have to be selfish. You just have to be.
And discuss the future. Rather than waiting till April 2nd, threats going back and forth, tit for tat, I've agreed to suspend temporarily, and we always have that tool in our toolkit, until we sit down over the next day or two. I'll be heading down to Washington along with Dominic LeBlanc, and we'll have a good discussion.
See, it's that simple. Slap a tariff, they're down to negotiate, and I'm sure Trump's going to negotiate with them. It's that simple. This is the whole point. You have to negotiate. You can't just keep helping everybody else out without helping your own people out first. It makes no goddamn sense. It makes no sense at all. It's astronomically low IQ and moronic and diabolical and immoral. And again, it's not the right thing to do. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do it.